I just finished True Life by Kristoff, and I have to say that I did enjoy this series a lot. It's a trilogy. I have to say that I loved completely the first book. The second one was a bit for me, but still it was a lecture that I did enjoy. And the third one is amazing. And yeah, I think I was nearing the end of the book, and I was thinking, okay, like it's like 50 pages left, and everything is going to shit, and I wonder how Kristoff is going to end this trilogy. I was wondering, knowing him from the Nevernight trilogy, I was quite afraid that everyone was going to die or something like that. And yeah, okay, it's an amazing book, and for me, one of the things that surprises me a lot, and that's me, it's that we have at the beginning of in the first book, we have these two girls who are friends. One of them is called Abby, and the other is Lemon. And if you haven't read the first two books, just stop watching the review, because it's going to be talking about the previous two books, so it's going to be a spoilers for them. So yeah, and at the beginning I had the idea that the main character was going to be Evie, that we were going to follow her, and that she was going to be like our hero. But I was very pleased to discover that she's one of the main characters. She's not the main character, and the main character turns out to be Lemon Fresh. And Lim is a character that I love because she's like so bubbly and so amazing and so funny, but you can see that she's strong and she's amazing. And yeah, I love her because she comes from nothing, in the middle of nowhere. And she has been, she was like, she had nothing, and suddenly she comes to possession of this big power that she has, that she can fry um, robots and people, and she's very powerful. She's one of the deviates. In the book we are showed that there has been like, it's a dystopic book, and if you need to remember, it's like there was like World War IV, and the world was destroyed, and there's human left, and they live like as scavengers, and there's like these big two entities, these big two corporations that are like controlling the world, and they're like in the opposite sides. And we have cybers, and we have not cyborgs exactly, but robots with personality implants, and the people are like building this new world on the backs of the robots. It's like very Blade Runner thing. And we have these people who live on the scraps, and we have like this imbalance between people in power as always and people who doesn't have as much. But also we are going to find what it's called deviates, which are people that maybe have their powers because they have abilities. Maybe it's because of their radiation from the war, or who knows, but they're persecuted because they're called freaks. It's like yeah, I remember of the X-Men to me, because they have different powers, and there's this brotherhood that calls for the purity of the human race, and they are persecuted, and they want to be wiped off because they cannot exist. And these deviates call themselves the Homo Superior. That's why it made me think of X-Men with Magneto and all of that, and the Homo Superior thing, because they have these abilities. Lemon, as I say, she can interact and destroy robots and compounds and things like that. We have others that can open like black holes and travel through them, and we have different powers, and different guys and girls can do incredible things. And also we have the lifelike, that are those robots that were supposed to be like the next step of the evolution, because they were like perfect. And we discovered in the series that Evie is one of them. She didn't know that. She had been raised believing that she was human, but suddenly she discovered she's one of those constructs, and everything she believed was right and was her life gets called into attention, and she kind of loses herself, and she gets this idea that she has been abused. And in a way she has, because she was constructed to be like a replacement for a girl that was killed, Anna Monrova, and she had the memories she have are her own, but she also has feelings and ideas that come from that time in which she was supposed to be Anna Monrova. So yeah, it's a bit mindfuck. And we are going to find these two girls that have been raised together, Limon and Evie. They're going to be like in the opposite sides of the final battle. And I love this, the way in which J. Kristoff writes, because you know that no one is safe. It doesn't matter if we have a main character or we have a secondary character, if someone has to die, because the story goes into that way. They're going to die. And it's not like it's not done for recreational purposes. It's done because it's real life. And that's something that had me worried here, because there's characters that I love in this books and I wasn't ready to see them die, you know what I mean? Then I have to say that J. Kristoff did deliver with the final installment. And I love how we have these two main corporations, as I say, just on opposite sides, and both of them think that they're doing the right thing, and you know, you really don't know if they should be trusted. In some of cases you can see that sometimes they have some glimmer of what's right, but you know, they're not doing the right things for the right reasons, and that's something. And I love how we have these kids, because they are treated as kids because they are kids, and they also deviate and are called freaks, and sometimes they are abused, like, okay, you're a kid, you don't know what you're talking about, and you're a freak, so you shut up. And I like how J. Kristoff turned on the tables on that one, and those people that you know, were like, you are nothing, are the ones who have the ability, and not only the ability, but the courage and you know, the spirit of saying we are going to save the world. And I love that, because these things makes you feel like you don't need to be a hero, you don't need to be always right, you don't need to be some high-born son of someone. You can become from nothing, you can feel like you're nothing, and you can realize that you have a lot of worth, that you can stop, you know, that you can say, okay, that's enough, this is who I am, and I'm going to take a stand for the things I believe are right. And I love how these kids in this book stand for what they believe. Maybe they stand in the wrong side, maybe they stand in the right side, but they make a stand and they say, okay, this is me, you are going to hear me, I'm going to do what I believe I have to do. And I love that, and I love how during these 3 books these characters have been evolving and how they come to the point in which they are in this book. And I know I'm not talking a lot about it plot-wise, but I don't want to make any spoiler, because if you know J. Kristoff, you know that he puts lots of things and thoughts and twists and things on his books, and I don't want to spoil anything. But if you like J. Kristoff, if you like what he did in the first 2 books, you're going to love this one. For me, that was amazing. There were things I was expecting, there were things I wasn't. And I have to say that I'm very happy that I read this trilogy, because it has a lot of things that I like. It has this dystopic future, what happens when humans don't learn that we need to be together, when we need to stop hating what's different, we need to stop hating what's, you know, and we have to become united, but we don't, and then World War IV happens and the world gets completely destroyed. So we have this dystopic future with what remains of humanity living like in a wasteland, except for, as I say, the corporations as always. And we also have these freaks of nature, because they have been in touch with